Hi, how are you, everybody? And thank you for joining us today. Today, in our webinar, we'll be talking about increasing efficiency in the workplace. The input power you put in divided by the output power, that's equal your efficiency. So if you don't put a lot of input in, but you get a lot of output, your efficiency is really high. And that's how it works. We're going to go on and talk about all the different ways, not only technology related, but different ways to make your company more efficient and to make you get more out of your employees and make them more efficient, give them the tool that they need to be more efficient. At first, I'm going to talk about myself. My name is Ikram Masabini. I'm the CEO of MVP Network Consulting. I have my bachelor's degree in electronic engineering. I've been in IT healthcare, if you will, for the last 15 years. I'm a HIPAA consultant. I'm a certified IT security consultant. I have multiple technical certification from Cisco and Microsoft, Avaya, SAP. And my email address is right there. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Today's goal is that we're going to talk about increasing efficiencies in the workplace. So increase employee efficiency while keeping your company secure. We want your employees to be able to be as efficient as possible, give them the right tools, but we also want to make sure that you don't put yourself in jeopardy and that your company's data is secure, especially in the healthcare realm when it comes to HIPAA and all the regulations that all our providers have to make sure that they adhere to. So we're going to talk about, there are certain steps to increase employee efficiency. One is company culture. And what that means. 2 is time management and what that means to the employee and how we can help them to become more efficient. 3 is hiring the right people and how to do that. Now, like we said, this is we're a technology company, but we're talking holistically from a high level. What can we do to make sure that we hire the right people in our culture? Next, we're going to talk about allowing employees secure remote access and why that makes them more efficient. And then implement and enforce those policies. How can we implement and enforce all the things that we want to do without looking like Big Brother, without hindering their production, and by making them more efficient? So let's get started. The company culture. So happy people perform better. That goes without saying. Google rose by 37%. They know what they're talking about. They've done that by doing some of the things that we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk about DISC profile. A DISC profile is a test that you can give any existing employee or any new hires that you would like to do. It measures behavioral patterns. It does not measure ability, does not measure experience or training. That's something that you have to ask the interview questions and make sure you get that out of them. But a DISC profile tells you what their strong suit is. It tells you what they're going to be good at and if they're going to be a good fit or not. So there's no perfect sales profile, if you will. A DISC profile is a test that we recommend you give to everybody. It's online. It's free. There's some that cost money, but they give you more. The reporting that you get has more detail in it. And what does it stand for? What does DISC mean? D is for dominance. People that are D, if you will, you end up getting a result from your test. So you could either be a D, an I, an S, or a C. Stands for DISC. So D is dominance. People that are D or high D, if you will, are either demanding, arrogant, aggressive. They're leaders. If they're a low D, they're more reserved. They're followers. They're patient. They're passive. And that's what D means. So if you're hiring for a specific position and you want a leader in that position, you would want somebody that has a D, a high D, into their profile. And that's how you're able to tell if you're hiring the right person for that right job, yes or no. And I stands for influence. So a low I is somebody that's pessimistic, critical, logical, and disturbing, if you will. A high I is somebody that's inspiring, magnetic, extroverted, trusting, and S stands for steadiness. A high S is either more relaxed, resistant to change, passive, and patient. A low S is hypertensive, impulsive, flexible, and patient. Now, there is no right or wrong answer here. This is what they are, really. This is what their core is. This is more than just if they're able to do the job or not. Are they going to be a good fit or not? That's what this answers. Last but not least is C from the desk perspective. And C is a high C is somebody that's evasive, that's worrisome, that's careful, that's neat. A low C is somebody that's careless, that's flexible, that's arbitrary, that's opinionated. So once you give them that, if somebody is a high D and an I, for instance, you could say they're active, fast-paced. If they're a D and a C, they're questioning. If they're an I and an S, they're accepting. If they're a C and an S, they're moderate, pace, truthful, thoughtful. So having said that, it's important to know the type of person that you're hiring. So, for instance, a D person is somebody that's a lobbyist, a business manager, a fire marshal, somebody in a leadership role. An I is more of a clergy member, a preschool teacher, a sales agent, a reporter. That's a high. That's somebody you want somebody that's a high I, and if they're doing these jobs, that's where you want them. A C, a medical record technician, a nurse general duty, a secretary. This is a high C. And a high S will be more of an investigator, a pharmacist, a psychologist, a survey worker. So for whoever you're going to hire, obviously we're going to share this with you guys. We'd recommend you give them the DISC analysis, the DISC profiling, give them the test, see what they are, so that you know what where they stand. And if you do that to your employees, you'll notice that the strong employees, for instance, our techs are usually, we want them to be a D and a C, and all our strong techs are Ds and Cs. So when we hire somebody, we give them the even if they're good, we give them the profile. If they're a D and a C, we know they're gonna succeed in our environment, because that's how we run our company. So this is something that we think everybody should be doing. You got to start with a strong base. You can't lead the world, if you will, if with the wrong people. You have to have the right people, and to make sure you have the right people, we say test them first to make sure they'll fit into your environment. So mature team building, if you will, you want people on the top of the pyramid. People on top of the pyramid, our team is aiding in the success of each other by clearing obstacles and almost need no management. On the bottom of the pyramid, this is a team that's not setting goals or plans. They need micromanagement. So some are told what to do, some are measured often, which is as they go up the pyramid, as they become better at the job, as they become more entrenched within your culture, you need to be aware of where they fit. And the DISC analysis will allow you to do that. So one, give everybody DISC analysis. Two is time management. It's important to know how people are spending their time and what they're doing. The key is not spending time, but it's in investing time. We all have 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO or you're the janitor. You have only 24 hours a day. Nobody can buy more time. That's something money cannot buy. So it's important to really invest your time where you think it's going to give you the most return. So work smarter, not harder. The brain is always under attack. A lot of things coming our way. The frontal lobe, if you will, allows us to act, plan, attention, self-control, and choices happen there. And then we react from the other side of the brain. So it's important to know how to really manage our time. A survey said 3 hours of wasted time per day is spent on interruptions that have little to no value. This is out of an 8 hours workday. This is 40% of your workday is wasted time. How can we capture more of that time? And how can we have the employees capture more of that time? You need to create a culture of what we call a Q2 culture. A Q2 is the second quadrant. It's the extraordinary productivity quadrant. It's when proactive work happens. It's when high impact goals happen. It's when creative thinking happens, when planning, when prevention, relationship building. This is things that you don't spend a lot of time on a daily basis. Employees are going through the grind day by day just to try to get through what they're supposed to be doing. But we want them to spend more time in their Q2. So if you look at the 4 quadrants, Q1 is necessity, something you have to do. This is your job. You have to handle crises, emergency meetings, last-minute deadlines, pressing problems. Q2 is where you want to live to be more productive. Q3 is distractions, needless interruptions, people stopping by, talking about something, people asking you irrelevant questions, or you go to irrelevant meetings. And Q4 is strictly just waste of time, trivial work, avoidance of activity. Some people don't want to do the work, so they push it further down. Uh, Time wasters, gossip happens in Q4. You want to be between Q1 and Q2. Q2 is what gives you the most productivity. So we suggest doing something called Got a Minute. So let's say in the morning you have email and you have a class. In this case, we took that from Covey, so it's a Covey class. You may have a quote prep, so you get your quote done, then you have a client meeting and another client meeting, then you got a minute in the middle. We just suggest scheduling your entire day ahead of time. Even your got a minute, where I'm going to check emails and make calls. Even your drive time, your lunch. Put everything in your calendar. Make sure your employees have a good CRM system to be able to do that. You'll get a lot more productivity from them. You'll get them a lot more involved. You'll get them more organized, and you'll get them working more efficiently. Uh, Time management keys to success. Work in Q2 quadrant as much as you can. Now that you know the differences, uh, set goals and rocks with timelines. Set your goals that you need to achieve for that day, for that week, for that quarter. Share them, and share them with your employees, and have your employees share their goals with you. Have that meeting with your employees to see what they're trying to accomplish within their department. Implement got a minute times, like we just discussed, and have them use it. Make sure they have a good CRM system. So if you are not using a hosted exchange or an exchange platform with Outlook as your CRM, we can help you get that going. But make sure you have a good CRM system. It doesn't have to be Outlook. Some people use Google. Some people have their own CRM, Salesforce, or what have you. But if you don't have that scheduled scheduling tool to be able to use, you're not going to be able to get as efficient as you can possibly be. Set up hosted exchange email, like we just talked about. It basically allows you to be more efficient and have the tool to share with your entire team. You'll be able to share your calendar with your team or your manager. You'll be able to share your emails if you'd like, your tasks. You could have a public contact list. It saves time, makes you more efficient, and it's the right tool for your employees. And then use 2 monitors. I use 3, but use 2 monitors. It makes you a lot more efficient. It makes you 30% more efficient, actually. You could have multiple things open at the same time. You could see them. You could copy and paste across. It becomes one larger monitor. And we'd recommend everybody to have 2 monitors as they work. Another key to success is to communicate with daily huddles and weekly leadership meetings. People have meetings for the sake of having meetings, but if it's organized, if it's structured, you know what you're going to talk about because you're putting in your goals, and then you hold those people accountable to see when are you going to accomplish those goals. We have already talked about it. When is your deadlines to get them done? What is your steps to get to that deadline? What are you going to do on a daily basis to reach those goals? You'll gain traction. You'll become more efficient. You'll become a leader that's a coach, that's teaching them how to become better at their job, better at their time management. Time management is key. And then restrict and limit access. You can't tell them they can't go online when you keep it wide open, right? You can't expect everybody to always follow every rule. You can't tell them they can't work remotely, but they should be able to. So you should be able to put in place certain technologies that will limit the access that you don't want them to do. That way, everybody has the same type of access. They won't feel that you're like Big Brother. You don't feel that you're watching over their shoulders because they can't do what they not allowed to do. So you stop that. You stop guessing if they're doing their work, yes or no, because you've limited them, and then they don't have any other ways to do anything else except do their work. So you get them focused on their job and to become more efficient. When you do that, you don't become Big Brother, but you have to have tools in place to allow you to do that. You have to have the right firewall, the right firewall with IPS, with intrusion prevention, the right content filtering, the right email service, the right tools in place. And obviously, we help you implement those. And then we call reflect, refuel, and reset. After you have your meetings, you go back and on a quarterly basis meet with everybody, reflect on what they're doing, how they're doing it, lead them, become their coach, become their leader. show them the way, but lead by example. You got to do it as well. I know a lot of management and CEOs and C-level executives that don't. They are very disorganized. In order for them to be successful, they got to show them the way, but they also got to do it themselves. So touch it once and do it then. If you have the tools in place, all you have to do is do it and set it up, and it does the work for you. So hiring. We talked about hiring the right people. 41% of companies said that a bad hire cost them about $25,000, whether it being training that gets involved, whether it being the fee that they have to pay, the vendor they use to actually find that candidate if they're using a service like that. Bad hires cost you more than just the money, though. Employee productivity goes down. Hours of training is being wasted. Reoccurring recruiting time is being wasted. Lower employee morale because people see that you're hired somebody that is not at their quality, and they have to pull up the slack. So bad hires really cost you a lot of time, and it costs you a lot of issues. So you need to be able to hire correctly. Definitely use the DISC profile that we talked about it. But I'm going to give you some secrets of hiring better employees. Number one, do a DISC profile like we discussed. It's important to know if they're going to fit in that position. Number two, drug test them. You want somebody that is that's not on drugs. I mean, it goes without saying. Two, do a background check. Make sure their history is clean. Make sure they will be a good fit in your company. Know who you're getting. And then employee orientation. I can't say that enough. Truly spend the time onboarding an employee and doing it properly, training them properly, giving them the time and the attention at first so that you could set them up to win. If you don't do those four things, you're setting up your employees to fail. They could be a great fit, but they weren't trained right. I don't know how many times we hear that. Oh, I was never trained. Oh, I sat next to this other person and they showed me and I'm learning on the job. Really spend the time and give yourself the time and the employees the time to do it right and make them successful and set them up to win. Work from anywhere. I mean, that's what can I say? Nobody wants to work from the beach, but I prefer working from the beach if I have to work from anywhere. But when you work from anywhere, you need to be able to reach every aspect of your work. You can't only just reach email. You want to reach all the applications that you need. You want to reach your desktop. Be as effective remotely as you are on site at your office. 1 in 3 work outside the office regularly. 1 in 3 employees do. Harvard Business Review did a study, and they found that if employees are capable of working remotely, they're actually working close to 50 hours more than employees that don't. And it's important to know that because employees that can work remotely, they think of something, they log in and they do it. It makes them more effective and more efficient. So what do you need to access work from anywhere? Well, we can help you set that up, but it's important to know that, one, you need a safe file sync application so that your files can come along with you just in case you work somewhere where you don't have internet access, but all your files are accessible for you. If you make a change, it will sync it and keep one copy of your entire file. You need host exchange and email so that you're always connected and always connected with email wherever you may go. And we recommend the voice over IP phone system so that your laptop or your mobile phone can become your phone at the office. Somebody can call your extension, and if you travel, your phone rings and it's coming from the office because you're working from anywhere at any time, having full access not only to your files and application, but also to the phone at the office. And then secure internet. I can't talk enough about security, especially in healthcare. HIPAA and security is key to make sure that the data that your employee, your clients, and your patients are entrusting you with don't fall in the wrong hands. So make sure that everything that you do is secure. Do a security audit regularly. Always scan for, do penetration testing, and do vulnerability assessments. And we could help you with all those. And last, I'm going to talk about implementing and enforcing employee policies to increase productivity and decrease employee errors. So we need to put tools in place to make sure that employees don't do what they are not allowed to do at the same time to make them more efficient and more productive. Salary.com did a survey that said 61% of people who took the survey said they wasted 30 minutes to an hour a day at work. I think it's higher. It's more like 3 hours. But that came from them, just trying to figure out what they're going to do next. In 1 year, one employee would have wasted 260 hours. That's $3,750 for a typical employee with a salary of $30,000 a year. That's a lot of money. That's more than 10% of what employee wasting time because they don't have the right tools. You're tempting them by giving them wide open internet. They go to Facebook, they waste time, they come back, they don't want to do the work that they have to do. You're not guiding them, giving them the right tools. If you don't have that stuff in place, you shouldn't expect them not to waste time. It's going to happen whether you want it to or not. So to be able to do it, that you got to just restrict access to certain files. Some employees are not allowed to see certain files, so don't allow them to. Online and computer games should be restricted. Amount of bandwidth used. So if you know that an employee should go online just to browse the internet to do certain things for work, and they should never really be downloading a lot of data or watching movies or whatever it may be. You'd be surprised what we see out there. You could actually limit the bandwidth used by employee. The CEO can have wide open, and the secretary can only use a certain megs per day. If she uses them, then she no longer gets to access the internet. And then you never have to worry about what is she doing? Is she working, yes or no? You've limited it. This is just the structure of your company now. It becomes a lot better to implement those policies without looking like Big Brother and somebody that's trying to watch over their shoulders and police everything that they do. Chain letters and unnecessary emails, we see them being sent all the time, but also they can be virus related and they can cause a lot of issues. That's why we are providing free human security training. Please sign up. There's only 500 open slots. We've started about 2 weeks ago. We're already 232 in, so there isn't that many left. And so sign up to make sure that your employees are just better users. And limit them from being able to get those emails by having the right hosted exchange platform that scans and filters all that before they receive it. Social media site and Facebook and Twitter, you should be able to block all that. You shouldn't. If you want them to use it and you want to use it maybe an hour a day, you could open it up and restrict that. But you have to have the mechanism in place to be able to do it, and that happens through your firewall. A lot of you may have the firewall already. You may not need to buy anything, but are we implementing? Did you implement those policies for them to go? Media stream sites like YouTube and Netflix, they use a lot of bandwidth. They slow down your network, and you wonder what's going on. And most employees are saying everything is running slow, and they have Netflix running in the background. Websites that causes threats to the company, we should be able to block them. You should have a scanning happening at the beginning of your network to stop it from even popping up. The employees then, if they can't reach it, they can't use it, and you become more secure. So like I said, we're offering the free, for all our total protection clients, it's a free human security training. 95% of all data breaches and cyber attacks are due to human errors. So protect your data and your business and have your employees take this training. It's a free training. You go through our site, you can sign up. You basically go through about a 60-slide training, and then you take a test at the end of it, and then you get a certificate that's printed out. It makes you a better user. All your employees should do them. Make them better at what they do. Give them the tools, and then hold them accountable. So here's what you need to enforce all your policies. One, filtering system. Disciplinary and rogue employee process. We should have a process in place. And what happens if they break it. Spam firewall. Security process and procedures should be written up and signed by every employee. And then, again, I'll go through voice over IP phone systems because we could do a lot of different features with it, like Whisper. Whisper allows you to be able to listen to the employee having a conversation with one of your clients. You could also whisper in their ear what to say. Great training tool. And you don't have to whisper at all. You could just listen, and nobody will know you're on. Some of the tools that you need just to make you a better manager and make your employees more effective and efficient. And then most importantly, especially in healthcare, and that's what we focus on, is protect against threats uh, and to improve productivity. So whether being filtering of anti-malware or filtering of things that are coming across the internet because people are clicking on things they're not aware of or not know how it works, whether being time and bandwidth limits or whether being uh, application controls, uh, policy engine with global policies to be pushed across the entire infrastructure and company, whether being Facebook or Skype that you could limit. Um, Make sure that you have this web filter and security policies in place. Then have the tool, the device that will be able to for you to put all those in place. Write up something, have everybody sign it, and then implement it, and then you never have to worry about it again. And once it's implemented, it will stop them from doing it. When you walk by and then they're online, but they're allowed a certain amount of time, then you don't have to worry about it. You know what works and what doesn't. It could take it down to, if you look at this graph right here, with Facebook, and I can allow them to log in, but not comment. I can allow them to, or message. I can allow them to wall post, but not register for something. So Yahoo the same way, Twitter the same way. I have a lot of the tools nowadays give you a lot of flexibility and control. It's what we call Control Web 2.0. It's application usage. It happens on your firewall. You get that and you include it onto your internet connectivity, your line of attack, if you will, your egress, and you're able to manage what your employees are doing, how they're doing it. That will does free up some time and makes them more efficient. Then we're going to talk about mobile management. A lot of employees have uh, mobile phones, and they have mobile phones and they go online through them, but they use it for work as well. And if you provide your employees a phone, or you pay for their phone bill, so that means their phone during your time is managed by you, we would recommend enabling and installing a mobile device management. It allows us to provision a phone to monitor where they are during the 9 to 5 that they're working and track them. If they lose, it encrypts the phone. So if there's any PHI or any data on it, you don't have to worry about it. And I'm talking about not phones, but it's really any mobile device, laptops as well, or tablets. And it secures it. It makes them compliant. And it's a security policy. If you notice in this in here, there's a BYOD, bring your own device, or a corporate device. So you could have different policies that's implemented for different people, because sometimes some people have company phones, and in the same company, some people use their phones for company usage. Let's say they lost the device. It's encrypted. Then you don't have to worry about your PHI. But you want to erase everything. You could auto wipe the device directly from anywhere. You could geo-fence the device. In other words, you could have the device with you, but if you walk through my doors, your camera should not be able to work. I don't want you to take any pictures here. Well, you're able to do that with mobile device management. It's very strong, and highly recommend you doing it for all your mobile devices, and especially encryption should be on all your devices. And we talk about manage email content. So need for complete email security is to stop email threats at the perimeter before they hit your network. Stop high volume of spam and phishing and viruses malware. That's what we're going to talk about. Enforcing email policies. That's why I talked about hosted exchange. That comes with our hosted exchange offering. But if you don't have hosted exchange and you have regular mail like POP, or you have your exchange server, you should have a email security device at your facility doing that. Some of our clients do it themselves, and we help them manage it by putting a device like this. It's important to take that extra step to protect your data, to make your employees more efficient, and protect confidential information that your clients and your patients are entrusting you with, their social security number, their health records, and any internal threats, infected users spreading malware, users taking their data on a USB stick and getting out of there and going to your competition. Let's stop them from being able to do that. You're capable of doing that through certain security measures. You're capable of stopping them from using their own personal email accounts. Make sure you have everything in place, you document it, you have your employees sign it, and most importantly, then you don't have to worry about it, because your tools that you put in place are managing it for you. You know, you don't look like Big Brother. but you are making sure your company is secure and your employees, most importantly, are following the rules. And obviously, that will prevent you from becoming blacklisted. If any of you became blacklisted, you'll know about it. We have an average of about 1 to 2 a week. I'd say I would go with 2 a week of some of our clients that get blacklisted, and some that are not our clients that we go in and help them become delist them. Blacklisting meaning that you got hacked and somebody's using your IP and your domain to send out messages and spam messages on your behalf through you, whether being a virus that you received and sending out a lot of stuff through your network, or whether being a hack that happened. And we have to fix the hack before we delist you, and sometimes it takes some time to find what's going on. So comprehensive email content security is key, whether being inbound filtering or outbound filtering. Outbound filtering meaning if you send something out, it should be encrypted if it has PHI and should have DLP set up, data loss prevention. So if they're not allowed to attach certain files, it stops it from going out. We use the Barracuda product. DLP is very important. Let me explain DLP, data loss prevention. So if you have credit card numbers in your email, it will automatically encrypt them. Social security number will block it from going out. If you have any word privacy, we'll quarantine it. We could put HIPAA rules, and all the HIPAA rules when it comes to email and sharing of data will automatically encrypt everything coming out, because it scans every single email, it reads it, and finds out if it should be encrypted, yes or no. That way, you don't have to rely on your employees to type in secure or block or encrypt into the message. Some people make mistakes. Computers, on the other hand, are very systematic and they don't forget. So we'd recommend having a DLP system set up in your environment. Last, I'm going to talk about the benefits of voice over IP. One, it costs less because you don't have to buy a phone system. It's voice over IP. You just pay a flat fee for your phone lines that you use. Unlimited international calls, no additional licensing fees, and it's better technology. It's all web-based. It's enabled. There is some cons, though. If your internet connection is not strong enough, don't get voice over IP. What's going to end up happening is you have a bad quality of service and you won't understand anybody talking on the phone. So there is some due diligence that has to be done before we jump into voice over IP. But if you can do it, we'd recommend you doing it. Some of the features is the find me, follow me. If I'm in the office and I leave, that's the work from anywhere kind of capabilities. My cell phone would ring and I'll answer it, and if somebody's actually calling my extension. It will also send my voicemail to my email, so then I can listen to them through my email. It could have an auto attendant with on hold music and an auto attendant that picks up. It just allows you to give better customer service because you're able to answer every call coming your way. I'm going to end it with a reminder that please have your employees take the free training that we're offering, which is a new human security training. It's on our website. Register and have them take it. It makes them better at what they do. And we're also offering free for all the new clients on the phone today, free no string attached network assessment. It's a comprehensive report that we'll be providing you. We'll do a scan of your network, a penetration testing, and we'll provide you with a comprehensive report that gives you a thorough understanding of your technology footprint, what you have, what you don't have, what you should have. It's a map. If your IT person, all the new people on, are not doing that for you, they should. We're offering that for free if you sign up. We're only offering 5, though, just to let everybody know, because it takes time for us to get that done. We'll give you a visual network map and then a security analysis of your IT infrastructure to know where your weak points. We'll open up the questions and answers, and thank you very much, and have a wonderful week, and happy holidays, and have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you, everybody.